Ball camera 1.
Quick slant out. And another incomplete pass intended there to number 2, Jake Kenner.
Yeah. If you're the Eagles, you have to get up on this defensive play and force the quarterback to make an error.
Excellent. You got the ball in. Nicely done. 3-3. Go to 3.
By Bell. Bell breaks 2 tackles.
It's all you 3.
Bell's
Nicely
out.
done.
Oh,
He should have stayed there. Keep balling them back 3.
Hello and welcome to Centerville High School Stadium for tonight's MVCC Game of the Week for week number 10, presented by City Barbecue. Jared Bergstrom and Jeff Allen bringing you tonight's call. This game has the potential to be huge as the 4-5 Centerville Elks are set to host the 8-1 Springboro Panthers here in our MVCC Game of the Week finale for the 2019 season. And the final week of the high school football means that it's senior night for the Elks. It means the last chance to send the seniors off with a victory on the home field for the final time. Jeff, why don't you tell us how the Panthers fared against the Rams last week?
Well, Jared, the Springboro Panthers were in a thrilling shootout with the Rams and ended up holding on in the end and winning 28-25. And the win did 2 things for the Panthers, Jared. They won the GWAC National Division Championship for the first time since 2014, and they also clinched their playoff spot for Week 11. But in the game, the leaders were junior Titan Case, who had 6 catches for 112 yards and 2 touchdowns, and senior running back Timmy Kessaday. He had 94 rushing yards there at the end and 2 touchdowns in the second half. Definitely an all-around team effort in last week's win, and probably will have to be that kind of effort again tonight. And now, why don't you go ahead and tell us what has to happen, what happened to the Elks against the Thunderbolts last week?
The Elks put themselves behind the 8 ball for tonight's game with the 34-20 loss against Northmont. The Elks striked first, but 20 unanswered points by the Thunderbolts made it hard for the Elks to mount a comeback. Although sophomore quarterback Chase Harrison had 228 yards and a touchdown, but an interception too. Running back Bryce McMahon had 126 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Elks will need to have a better performance tonight if they want to try and get the victory and give them a chance to make the playoffs. Now, Jeff, why don't you go ahead and introduce us to Panthers head coach Ryan Wilhite?
Well, Jared, Springboro's head coach Ryan Wilhite is in his 14th season as the Panthers head coach. He's coached there since 2006 up until this year. He was the former Wayne Warriors offensive coordinator, and we know about their program, Jared. Also, an overall record of 97-48. And why don't you tell us about Centerville Elks head coach Brent Ulrey?
Centerville Elks head coach. This is his 3rd season as the Elks head coach. He's the former Dublin Jerome assistant head coach, and he comes into tonight's game with an overall record of 16-15, so very close at that 500 mark. Jeff, what winning performance do the Springboro Panthers have to put together tonight to get a victory on the road to close out the season?
Well, Jared, Springboro's offensive keys to the game begin with their offensive line. They need to block better. Last week got almost no push until that second half and really won off of big plays. So that offensive line needs to keep on pounding if they want to bring home the W tonight. The second one is Timmy Kessaday, the Swiss Army knife. He is their defensive leader, bouncing around at that linebacker secondary position. Last week he had a huge game with double-digit tackles. He already has a sack and interception on this season, but offensively he is the backup running back, and overall he is the guy to relieve their workhorse, especially in the red zone situations. The third one, what Palmer is going to show up tonight. Last week, Landon Palmer was rather inconsistent other than his 2 huge touchdowns to Titan Case. So Landon Palmer needs to come up huge in this last game if they want to make their case for the playoffs stronger and get their seeding up there. And defensively, Jared, for Springboro, they need to stop Bryce McMahon. Springboro's number 1 in rushing defense. They're putting together a 97-yard per game performance, which is spectacular. Allowed the second least amount of touchdowns, so they have to stop Bryce McMahon, and you're going to have to make that prodigy Chase Harrison beat you. And for the second key of the game for Springboro's defense, speaking of Chase Harrison, you gotta limit his legs.
Right.
He is able to improvise and get outside the pocket all the time, so it's a very dangerous scenario for the Springboro Panthers. The third one, last but not least, you have to force turnovers. This is such a simple, fundamental key to the game, Jared, but it is so essential against these Centerville Elks. They live and die by the air attack. You know you can stop Bryce McMahon, but can you stop all those weapons at Harrison's disposal? We will see tonight what has to happen for the Elks to come home with the W.
First one for Centerville offensively. Centerville's offensive line needs to keep the perfect pocket for Chase to pass in. We can see him. He can throw on the run and all that, but he's better if he can step 2 or 3 steps back and throw from the pocket, throw off his back foot. Another one, Harrison's going to have to be flawless tonight. No interceptions, no turnovers, fumbles. Coming into the game, they know they have to win another help to get in the playoffs, so that he knows he has to be flawless tonight, and if he can, they should be able to be out on top. And Cameron Smith is going to be the dark horse tonight offensively. A lot of people watch out for McMahon and Harrison, but Smith is that slot tight end receiver position, and we saw the 2 games we've done, he catches a lot through the slot and in the middle. He's going to have to be one to watch.
Very explosive.
And defensively, they're going to have to stop the running game. It's not just Kessaday you have to watch out for. Palmer can run on the run. William Yates can do an end around. Brandon Thomas can do an end around. There's a lot of running motions for the Panthers offensively at the running position. You got to watch Palmer out on the rollout. He can throw it on the run. We saw it last week. He's lethal when he can get outside the pocket and throw on the run. 2 huge touchdowns to Titan Case. And then you got to watch out for William Yates. He lines up in 4 or 5 different positions that he can do, and it's going to be interesting to watch what he does tonight. Who's going to be some players to watch for you tonight, Jeff?
Well, it's interesting you just said that, Jared, because my player of the game for Springboro is no doubt William Yates. As you just talked about him, he is one of the most elusive players in the entire conference. Nonetheless, the team, he already has 9 total touchdowns. It's over 700 total yards. This guy is just a weapon all over the field. And for Centerville, it's going to have to be Will Jackson Linkart. I think we've already talked about this kid enough this year, but 6'5", 220, and he's leading GWalk in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. And this kid is just so big. He's so quick. He's really good at creating separation with his quickness and establishing it with his size. So we're going to see a masterful performance, I have a feeling, from him tonight. Jared, who are your players to watch and why?
First, for Springboro, I'm going to go ahead and he was your player to watch last week. I'm going to take Timmy Kessaday this week. He had just under 100 yards last week and 2 total touchdowns. On the season, 62 total tackles, 3 fumble recoveries, an interception, 400 rushing yards, and 10 total touchdowns. He does everything on the field. So
everywhere.
You can watch him at any position. He's going to be a player to watch. And for the Elks, I just talked about it, Cameron Smith, the dark horse, the slot tight end or wide receiver, whatever you want to call him. He has 43 catches on the year, almost 600 yards and 7 touchdowns, but I don't know if Springboro has a big enough man linebacker or whatever to cover him. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Panthers cover him tonight.
Yeah, he'll definitely spread them out.
And finally, going into the final game, who is your pick to win?
Well, at the beginning of the year, Jared, I don't know if you would call them an underdog, but they are definitely an underdog coming into this game. Centerville Elks, I'm going to pick them 4-5 coming into this matchup. They really need this win to cap off their season with some momentum. I think Centerville, overall, they want it worse than Springboro wants better playoff seeding. They're already in the playoffs. Centerville, it's going to be a dangerous attack through the air from both teams. I think it's going to be an exciting one, but overall, I think Centerville is going to come out in a close shootout. What about you, Jared?
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Springboro Panthers. You were talking about it. Springboro, they've worked so hard. They're 8-1 on the year. Only loss was to that dismal downpour against Springfield, and Springfield's dominating the entire GWalk. But I think Springboro wants to play Week 11 at home, and for them to get that, they have to win tonight. So I think Springboro's good. I think it's going to be a close game. It might probably be the best one we've had so far this year. So I'm going to take the Panthers.
No doubt about that, Jared. It's a brisk one here at Centerville.
So it looks like the band's ready for the national anthem, so we're going to throw it down there. And we'll be back for our MVCC Game of the Week finale for the 2019 season. right, here we go, getting ready for the final kickoff of the 2019 season to start the game. Looks like Springboro won the toss and elected to defer, so you're going to see number 28, Matthew DePore, on to kick off for the Panthers. They'll be all in white.
Centerville with the usual 3 returners, but you'll see number 9 get the majority of the kickoff returns tonight, Jonathan Bruder.
And a fumble on the opening kickoff.
And that's not characteristic of the Centerville Elks, but that was Bryce McMahon.
And we want to note that DePore's kickoff didn't go to the end zone. So maybe that confused them. I mean, Centerville, watching game tape, DePore doesn't, he hardly ever not puts it in the end zone on a kickoff.
For sure, and the weather may be a factor there, especially in special teams. And we'll see how Chase Harrison, a young sophomore quarterback for Centerville Elks, how he reacts to the cold. And he'll come out in trips with Smith in motion. Just a 4-receiver set now.
Harrison's going to pull it and throw it out to
Cam Smith already.
And he will be out to about the 18, maybe the 19, so about a gain of 8 on the play.
And this young man we're going to be seeing tonight, Jared, Chase Harrison, we've talked about him so much this year. He's already getting recruited by Division I schools, and honestly, as a sophomore, he's second in almost every single passing category: yards, percentage, rating, touchdowns. He may be the best pure quarterback we've ever seen here in the Greater Western Ohio Conference.
And Harrison's going to send him 5 wide here for this 2nd and 1 from the 19, and he's going to throw it outlet quick to Smith, and it's incomplete. And that's what we saw a few weeks ago when they played the Firebirds. He just couldn't hit the check down or the hot route.
Yeah, and I really think the weather change affects him at almost all aspects. He's still young. He's still learning, and Springboro is a great overall experienced defense, even though their secondary lacks. And I think this is going to be an explosive one for Centerville. You're going to see those tonight. It's just him getting experience.
Harrison's going to hand it off to McMahon, and he will not get to the first down. So it'll be 4th and about 1.
Already seeing a difficult scenario for the Elks, and how they react tonight could depend on how this game goes, and they will be conservative and bring out the punting unit here.
They might be conservative here, but if it's 4th and 1 like this in the 4th quarter, they're going to have to go for it to try and pull out a win.
A lot of times this year you're using Kyle Hurls back there punting for the Elks, but you will see
number 3, Cameron Smith, punting.
So Josh Collins is the punt return man usually for Springboro, but they got Connor Heiser also back there.
And a line drive punt, and it goes straight out of bounds. Let's see where the refs mark it out at.
That is unfortunate field position for the Elks, only punting at about 15 yards.
Yeah, it'll go out at the 20 or the 35.
And this is an amazing scenario for the Springboro Panthers offense if you put yourself in their shoes. There you see the MVCC Game of the Week replay. Smith absolutely shanking that punt. You'll see a 4-receiver set now for Springboro. Thomas and Yates at the bottom of your screen.
Palmer is going to go back to pass, and he's going to throw it out to number 10, Connor Hayes.
Pass complete to the far side to number 10, Connor Heisey.
Or Heisey. And that's close to a first down, about a gain of 9.
A good start there for Springboro. Good fundamental curl route. You got 4 receivers going out for deep routes. It really confuses the secondary when one stops after a little run.
Palmer's going to look over to the sideline for instructions.
You'll see this a lot tonight. Case is lined up in the tight end position to Palmer's left. Thomas in motion.
Armbruster's going to get the carry. He bursts through for a first down for the Panthers, down to about the 21.
And Moise Armbruster has been one of the more explosive backs in GWalk this year. Got injured about 3 weeks ago. Hasn't been the same since. Came back for the first time last week, Jared. Since he got injured, 12 carries, 41 yards. Had a little trouble there in the first half. They eventually switched to Kesaday, but tonight already showing they're going to go with a committee of both of them.
You're going to see Kesaday in the backfield now on 1st and 10.
Number 18, Adam Berry in at tight end.
And Kesaday's going to get the carry, and he gets through He'll be tackled at about the 20, maybe the 19, so only a gain of 2 on the play. And you see number 27, Will Hefner, with the tackle.
Yeah, the junior linebacker did a great job of penetrating those gaps allowed by the offensive line.
You saw he come right around the block from the center.
Taking whatever Springboro's going to give him.
And now you're going to see Armbruster back out there.
Interesting to see how Centerville reacts as their middle-of-the-pack defense takes on Landon Palmer and his advanced football mind at a GWalk level.
Armbruster's going to get it on a toss, and he's going to be through the 15. I thought he was tackled, and he's going to have enough for a first down, or he's right at it.
27, Will Hefner.
Hefner with another tackle.
10-yard line.
You see, he had a one-on-one situation. Thanks to the block, great pulls by the Springboro offensive line. Noah Holmes has him wrapped up, and he just bounces right off of him. Armbruster, 5'6", almost 180, with a great center of gravity.
And they actually give him enough for the first down. And Springboro back up on the ball quickly.
Trips to the top of your screen. That'll be something to watch. Yates isolated at the bottom.
And a false start's going to be called against the Panthers.
Palmer's Panthers.
Palmer, yeah. It's going to back him up 5 yards.
And what a critical mistake there in the red zone. They had a golden opportunity. Willian Yates, their elusive playmaker, was one-on-one down there with Austin Bacon, I believe.
So it's going to be 1st and 16 at the 16. And Palmer's going to pull it out, going to throw it right in the middle of the field. I believe that is Case.
Another
And Case
touchdown.
into the end zone from 16 yards out. And what a bullet from Palmer.
Exceptional maneuverability right there. This Titan Case. You see he does this little hook curl in the middle of the defense. And he just doesn't draw enough defenders there. He goes right into the end zone. Bouncing off a couple right before
It was almost
it.
untouched. We'll see here in the Game of the Week replay.
Palmer play action.
And right at about the 4 is when he first got the defender on him, but looked like number 2, Maurice Lawrence, and number 18, Walter Watkins, was just too late.
Yeah, Titan Case, as the extra point is good there for the Springboro Panthers. Titan Case is a big man. He's 6 foot, almost 200 pounds. You see him switching to tight ends. He's also very explosive.
Oh, wait until I'm almost guaranteed we'll see him in the Wildcat formation like we saw a few times last week. And you see here, the defensive coordinator does not look, or no, that might be the offensive coordinator, trying to pump this team up because they know how important this game is. You need a win and some help to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, and you need to fight back against Springboro. They're going to put up these points no matter what. They're going to put up at least 21 on any mediocre defense. You have to keep up with them, though. And Titan Case, you know he was on their game plan as he had a big game last week with 2 touchdowns. Gets
Against
another early touchdown now.
A better Trotwood defense.
Yeah, and that is his 6th receiving touchdown of the year, pushing 650 with almost 50 receptions now. Titan Case has had a good season. So here we go. The best kicker in GWalk, the best punter in GWalk, Matthew DePore. We get to see him again tonight, and what a pleasure as always, Jared.
It's going to be interesting to see if this one goes into the end zone or not. And it will get to the end zone this time.
Put a little extra oomph into it.
Panthers kick goes into the end zone for a touchback.
So Centerville will come out now and start 1st and 10 from the 20. So the offensive line just needs to get better blocking on this drive.
I think they know what they need to do. I definitely think they should attack with the up-tempo, spread-out offense like always, and then wait to incorporate those runs into it. This Springboro D has been so exceptional this year, only allowing 97 yards a game, like I said, and 6 touchdowns in the total year. So definitely a dangerous group of guys on the other side of the ball.
McMahon's going to go in, or no, that was actually number 20.
Harrison
Mead.
off the play action.
Going to throw it down. I believe that is Mead.
Pass complete to number 20.
It is Nick Mead with the catch there. It looked like he was pushed out of bounds by number 39, Alex Brown.
Good ability to fight for the yards there.
Alex Brown.
But this Springboro D is no doubt playoff ready. We already talked about Kessaday. You got Jake Kowalski, who is a state-worthy wrestler at 195
And at one point, he was leading G-Walk in sacks.
He is right now, Jared.
he still is?
57
Okay.
tackles and 8 sacks this season. Such a disruptor.
And then the safeties, Bernard and Collins.
Josh Collins, yes.
They picked apart Trotwood last week.
Cameron Snurr, Caleb Pretty, you can just go on, and the screen absolutely fails there.
Incomplete, intended to.
That was Jackson, but
Yeah.
Josh Collins was all over that. And that's another guy we haven't talked about. He has been starting for the past 3 years, Jared. Already has 3 picks this year. Why am I saying already? He has 3 picks coming into the end of the year, about 30 tackles. You go into Nathan Swartz, 44 tackles, 3 forced fumbles. You can just go on and on.
Right, it's almost like everybody is double-digit tackles for this Panther defense.
And we're seeing 2 of the top 5 sack artists in Kowalski and Cameron Snurr on the same defense as well. Smith in motion.
He's going to go all the way outside to the hash marks, and Harrison's going to throw it in incomplete, intended to
Harrison's pass falls incomplete, intended for number 10,
Mullinger of the Elks. Not really called his name much when we've had their games.
Yeah, he's been a rotational receiver. Comes into the outside, usually a decoy, but you see that time Cameron Smith was the decoy.
Deep for the Panthers, number 10, Heist, and number 11, Collins.
So a few
And
errant
see
passes.
there in the replay, notice it. Maybe he should have thrown it to Smith. He was at least open enough to maybe make a move. You got to give your people a chance to make a move. As that punt was almost blocked, but it's going to roll out at about the 42. So a better punt for Smith.
Smith's punt goes out of bounds at the Springboro 40.
Say better, but not quite at the effective level that they want, Jared, especially with this Springboro offense.
I don't really think you want your home PA announcer saying that.
And overall, Jared, Springboro is second in points per game. And despite their 4th-ranked defense and 5th-ranked offense, they know how to score the football, and that's what's been important for them in key moments. I think that's what it will come down to tonight. The ref waves off the play here.
Refs stop play for some reason. They're going to make Yates go off the field. So you're going to see number 13, Khalil Trent, come in and replace him. If you look at the top of the formation, very top of your screen, well, no, never mind. They're going to hand it off to Armbruster, and he fumbles the ball. And I
Jared,
think Centerville recovered it.
I think he was down there. I thought it was a trip tackle. He flipped over on the top of his top
Ref
side.
signal. It was a fumble, and they're huddling up now.
Yeah,
Let's take a look
that was
here.
A fumble, Jared. He tripped the bottom of his frame from his feet, and he landed on the top half. I think that ball popped off.
No,
yeah.
He was down by contact. The ground cannot cause the fumble. The refs need to stick or overturn this call.
And unfortunately, Jared, the refs cannot see what we can see. They do not use any type of monitor.
Well, they did. They overturned the call. You see there,
Wow.
right there, his elbow or his knee or elbow is down.
And I know we give the refs a lot of tough crap, Jared, but that was an amazing
that
call.
was a right call.
A phenomenal call, especially
was
for the naked eye.
Good for them to huddle up. I mean, you saw we had to rewind it a few times, and it was still bang, bang. A gain of 8 on the play by that run. I believe that was Armbruster.
Yes, that was.
Now you're going to see Kessaday come in for the short yardage, 2nd and 2. 6:45 left in the first quarter. Armbruster gets to get the Kessaday will get the toss, and he will have enough for the first down.
And I think this is a good strategy, Jared. Most of the time this year they've kind of rode off of which running back has more momentum, but I think if you keep on exchanging those running backs throughout the game, it can be more successful for their offense. You'll see Kessaday stay on the field here.
Yates is back on the field now. You're going to see 18, Adam Berry in there. Normally where Titan Case is, but Case is at the top of the screen.
Yeah, they're going with a heavy set, and they go with the pass. Wow.
Palmer's going to throw it to Yates. Yates pushes off, but I don't think the refs saw it.
Yeah, definitely a hand battle going down the field there. Between number 4 for Centerville, Tywan Sims, and Willian Yates. But nonetheless, it was overthrown. It wouldn't have mattered anyways. So definitely not a formation you see Springboro go to the pass in. They had the heavy I formation, a tight end and a fullback in, and they'll spread the field out with their usual formation now. Titan Case in at tight end. Got Yates, Khalil, Trent, and Thomas in as wide receivers.
And now Cassidy is going to get to carry up the middle, and a flag comes in.
I think that's going to be a hold there, Jared.
It's either a hold or maybe a chop block is what they're signaling.
Tackle is made by number 52, Chris Artis.
We go to the replay.
Yeah, you see right there was on the top of the screen, number 76.
Ryan
He
Elam's.
dove right down at the below the waist of one of the defenders, and that's a bad penalty because I don't know if it's 15 yards from the end of the play or 15 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and also I see this a lot with high school offenses. It either gets called
Or it doesn't.
Yeah. So sometimes you just gotta wing it, I guess. Trips at the bottom of your screen now between Case, Thomas, and Trent.
I think Case will end up moving in more into the tight end for blocking. I would assume. Well, no, he's going to go out, and Palmer's going to roll to the right, and he's going to throw it down the field, and it is complete to Case.
Play. Beautiful play right there. And you see Titan Case running a straight corner route.
Ball is spotted at the Centerville 42-yard line.
Fantastic play calling. You
And
see
it's
on
gonna-
the replay.
It's going to be about 3rd and 4 here.
Palmer rolls out to his left. The offensive line pushes right. He has an open pocket out there. You'll see Trent go on the curl. Thomas go on the cross route to distract the defense. Fantastic play calling by Ryan Wilhite and his staff. Palmer's going to take this one after Thomas goes in motion.
He's going to check it down to Yates, and it's up in the air and incomplete. And that bounced right off Yates' hands.
And Palmer bulleted in them, and you see some more beautiful play design by this Springboro offense. The offensive line with a delayed blocking pattern. Had a fake curl by Yates, and he came back around his slot receiver. And that's quite a call on 3rd down. You expect that one to be the money play. Coaches have these plays that they practice all week, and they're almost guaranteed that they're going to work, and they wait very strategically to pull them out. I think that was a money play right there, Jared. It just wasn't fully executed by Willian Yates.
DePore on the punt, and he's going to send this one. Fair catch called for. Bounces.
Ooh, that was very close.
And I don't even think he put all his leg into that one.
Yeah, about 5 yards away from being a perfect punt. But instead it will be a touchback, and the Elks will come back out. And let's see if they can put something on the board here, Jared. I would not rely on your defense if I'm Ryan Wilhite.
The only reason they got to stop there is because it was 3rd and 25 when they, or 2nd and 25 when they did that.
Yeah, and they still almost got through to the 1st down, so mistake saving them. But let's see if Centerville can execute on it. That's the difference between good teams and great teams right there. So through 4 receiver set, Trips at the bottom. Harrison after the play action.
Gonna check it down to Meade.
I think that was actually Nick Toby there, number 26. I know that was Meade.
Pass complete to number 20, Nick Meade. Tackled by number 3, Case.
Case with the tackle there, and about a gain of 7 or 8 on the play. So
we don't
that might be the Elks' biggest play of the night.
so far. We don't talk a lot about Titan Case's defensive capabilities, but he is a ball hawk out there. He uses that quickness, that lateral quickness, to move around and be everywhere he can.
And McMahon is going to get carry right up the middle, and he is pushed out of bounds. I want to see if Forward Progress gave him the 1st down or not.
By number 4, Cameron Snurr.
They're going to say it does. Snurr with the push out there, so it'll count for a tackle.
Yeah, good effort by Bryce McMahon, but how about Cameron Snurr?
I don't know. I mean, you watch it. He has to
Exploding
get
to the
past
ball.
the 30, and I don't think he ever got past the 30. So now you're going to see McMahon behind Harrison here.
Same formation. 2 stacked receivers at the bottom.
Going to fake it to McMahon. That's going to throw it down to Smith. And he's tackled right at the 35.
Gets about 3 there. Good play design.
Tackle play by number 11, Josh Collins.
Collins with the tackle there.
Those are your rhythm plays, the little curl routes and short patterns. They could be turned into the big plays with the right blocks and the right moves, but those are the type of plays you call, Jared, just to get a young Chase Harrison in a cold weather going. Get his rhythm flowing a little bit. You see that trips at the top of your screen. Smith's going to come closer to the stack.
Harrison's going to throw it in the middle of the field, and it is incomplete, intended to Smith. I don't know if that's just turning upfield before you catch the ball completely or just worried about getting hit by Case and Collins.
Yeah, and Cameron Smith is more of a fearless type of player. I think he just turned his head too soon, honestly. He had that ball in his hands.
That was right in the numbers.
But you have to multitask. We hear NFL commentators talk about that all the time. You got to catch it and then run. But first worry about the catch.
So 3rd and 5 here with 4:11 left in the first quarter. Smith's going to go in motion from bottom to top of your screen. And Harrison's going to throw it, and it is batted away by, I believe that is
Josh Collins.
Yep, intended to number 12, Linkard.
And he has the task of the night guarding my player to watch, Will Linkard, who doesn't have a reception yet today.
And, I mean, you just watched it. Harrison was eyeballing the whole way. Collins read that and jumped the route perfectly. If he was a second quicker there, he probably would have had a pick 6.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a flaw of Chase Harrison or he's just so confident in Linkhart's ability to go get the ball in a one-on-one situation. But nonetheless, Springboro will get it back once again.
This punt is a little bit better, and it is fielded at about the 35 by Collins, and he's going to end up running around for about 10 yards and gets back to where he caught it.
Yeah, and great tackle by their defensive leader, Jonathan Bruder. But, Jared, we haven't seen the Centerville stalled 3 times in a row like this other than the rain and against Fairmont here in this stadium a few weeks ago. So what do you think the problem is? Do you think the weather's affecting it, or do you think Springboro's D is just stepping up and making the reads?
I think Springboro's defense is just really stepping up. They had to test. They had their hardest game of the season 3 weeks ago against Springfield, and that was a 23-0 loss. So they want to avenge that, get back into position, and get themselves ready for next week, for Week 11. And hopefully, if they come out with the win, it's at home. Palmer's going to hand it off to Kessaday, and he is hit hard.
Hefner is in there again.
And you saw it coming off the bottom, 45, or maybe 44. Grant Martin was holding on to his legs. So only a gain of 1 as we approach 3.5 minutes here left in the first quarter.
And out of all of these guys, Caleb Martin, Chris Artis, Connor Walsh, Jonathan Bruder, Will Hefner is really making himself known tonight, having a heck of a game on senior night.
Kessaday's going to get the carry. Kessaday bursts through. Kessaday's at the 50.
This is not good for the Elks.
He's at the 40, breaks 1 tackle, 30, 20, stiff arms down to the 15. Kessaday deep into Elks territory and into the red zone for the Panthers.
Oh, Timothy. Oh, my goodness. Timmy Kessaday. Like a locomotive.
Just steamrolling the defense on that run.
Yeah, and look at his legs, the way they move.
1, 2, 3. Broken tackles there.
And you got 2 guys running with him.
5 there. Stiff arms that one. Just look at that. He moves him back 3 yards. And the stiff arm ends up bringing the 7th man to tackle him.
Yeah, the stiff arm also gained him about 8 yards. What an attitude. Running is sometimes an attitude instead of an action. And Timmy Kessaday has it.
You can see Thomas go all the way out. Pitch to Kessaday. Kessaday cuts it out at the 10. And he will be pushed out at about the 7 or 8.
And how about this transition, Jared? Moyes Armbruster just owning the first half of the season, at one point being at the top of GWalk in rushing yards, and now Timmy Kessaday taking over the lead role the past 3 weeks and just shining.
Springboro's quickly back up on the line.
3 receivers, Titan Case at tight end.
2nd and 2.5 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Cassidy's going to get the carry right up the middle, tries to get through, and a flag comes in as the run goes down to about the 3, but let's see what the penalty is.
And what guts shown as a runner there.
They're going to go holding against Springboro, but I don't really see how they're going to be holding when he's already past them.
Yeah, sometimes that happens though, Jared. And even if the holding doesn't affect the play, it is still holding, and you have to call it. And when they choose to call it, it almost always comes back. I've seen that in the NFL and college a couple different times, and even high school sometimes. Useless holds that just aren't necessary.
That's the second penalty for number 76, Ryan Eames.
And 3 receivers. Tighten case on the inside slot.
So this is going to be 2nd and 11 now at the 17. And Yates is left wide open, tries to haul in the one-handed catch and can't. So it'll be 3rd and 11 now at the 17.
That one almost produced some oohs and ahs. Yates kind of slowed down, tried to adjust to the ball, almost had a one-handed grab, but just too far out of bounds at that point.
I kind of want the Elks to get the stop because I want to show DePore's leg. We haven't seen him kick a field goal in any game we've done, and he has the leg to kick it from 50. Granted, they're not going to get a bad offensive penalty to do that, but just to showcase his leg.
Never seen a person want to kick so bad.
And Palmer's going to scramble, and he's going to run up the middle, and he's going to be inside the 5, enough for the first down for the Panthers.
And what durability. Landon Palmer lowering his shoulder. He doesn't go for the slide. He wants the first down. He wants the goal-to-go situation. So what does he do?
He gets the defender confused.
Last game of his regular season career, Landon Palmer is making it a good one so far. Escapes that tackle, puts his shoulder down.
Almost broke the ankles there. As you... I'm going to hurry up and get back to live.
I formation. Palmer behind a sea of blockers.
Cassidy gets the carry. Cassidy will get in from 2 yards out.
Call it a touchdown, Jared.
That's a touchdown. Cassidy did all the work to get down there.
And what a guy. Ridiculous stats on the season. Defensive and offensive crossover. Yeah.
You see there, number, I believe, 42.
It's Chris Ardis right there.
Almost had the leg tackle there.
Spectacular performance from Timmy Cassidy the past 3 weeks, and that puts him on 11 touchdowns for the season. DePore's extra point is up, and it is good, making him 42 of 43. An exceptional stat in high school football for extra points this year.
And just imagine how many, I mean, if he could play, I don't even know what grade he is. DePore is the roster doesn't say, but I mean, if he could play and start kicker for all 4 years, just imagine how he would probably be leading the points.
Yeah, I have no doubt about that, especially because most skill players get their opportunities in their sophomore to senior years.
So now Centerville's going to find themselves down 14-0. What do the Elks have to change here to try and mount? Now you got to mount a comeback, double-digit comeback.
And I think it comes down to the simple fundamental of execution, Jared, just making your plays count. I think they've called the right plays at the right moments to a certain point, but even when they do, it's either a Chase Harrison incompletion, it's a miscue, it's there's a variety of different things that have been going wrong for the Elks tonight.
Something I want to focus on, I mean, it's just untimely runs is what they're calling too. I mean, 2nd and long. Don't run or call a 2-yard run, as DePore's kick will not reach the end zone. Fielded at the 1, and they're going to say it did.
I think it got just into the end zone, and Noah Holmes looked like he really was itching to return that one, but does not get the opportunity.
So Centerville's going to start their 4th drive of this quarter. What? I mean, you would think going into your 4th drive, you would figure out all the kinks. So, I mean, obviously it's not senior night jitters or anything coming into this drive.
I think it's as simple as getting into a roll, getting those little drag routes, the little curls that Chase Harrison's used to executing, getting his arm warmed up and his confidence rolling. I think you'll see a lot of Cameron Smith in the middle of the field and a lot of Will Linkhart curl routes here.
McMahon, they're going to pull it out, and they're going to throw it to, I believe that was Linkhart. Yeah, Linkhart with his first catch of the night.
And I did not think it would take till the end of the first quarter, but Chase Harrison finally gets his favorite receiver involved.
And Linkhart's only a junior, so we're going to see that combination grow next year.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be very exciting. And Linkhart should improve his college recruiting profile as well, especially after this year.
Harrison's going to go back to pass, and he's going to check it down to, it looks like, is that number 11, Logan Brown. So gain of about 5 on the play. Swartz with the tackle for the Panthers.
Yeah, Nathan Swartz has been kind of an unsung hero. He really moves that offensive line, penetrates the gaps. He's a senior on this defense who's a leader.
Play clock's down to 14. Game clock's down to 42 seconds left in this first quarter. And they're going to go an end around with Cameron Smith. And he doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they had different plans with that play.
And that one will probably be the last play of the first quarter.
So here you go on the replay.
Well, it looks like Centerville's going to try and get one more play out of this. Unless they're maybe just trying to draw Springboro offsides.
Yeah, I think this is a veteran defense. I don't think they're going to go anywhere here.
And Harrison's going to start walking towards the sideline. That's going to be it. So, end of the first quarter in our MVCC Game of the Week finale here at Centerville. Springboro leading 14-0 here on the Elks senior night. But Centerville is moving the ball here. Got 2 first downs in a row, and now we got to maybe see what they can do. You have to complete this drive, you would assume.
Yeah, this is the most interesting part of the game so far, no doubt, Jared. And it's almost like a commercial break. We're seeing the Centerville Elks move down the field, kind of what we expected them to do, finally. But now we have to wait and see what awaits in the second quarter.
And really, Centerville is kind of playing slow compared to what they normally do. We normally see Centerville goes up-tempo sometimes, but right now not seeing it. Take a look across the way, or across the field at the Panthers student section.
Jared, in Week 10, we hope this will be an excellent battle, but the second half of the 2019 year of football season, wow, what?
Yeah, weeks 5 through 10 have been the most exciting one-possession games we've had.
And those were some games. Those were some classics in general, so we want to thank everybody for sticking with us this year at MVCC. Here we go, second quarter.
Underway. Harrison's going to go back to pass on 3rd and 6. He's going to throw a lob down the middle of the field on the sideline, and it is incomplete. Intended, I believe that was Smith. No, that was
Bryce
McMahon, the running back.
A good little wheel route, good play design, but can we compliment Xavier Trent on the outside? Senior defensive back, running with McMahon all the way and didn't even see the ball thrown, just read McMahon's motions and was able to come through with the stop. And here we go again, Centerville being stifled by this Springboro defense.
And punting for the 4th time. Smith gets the punt off, and that one almost looked like it could have been blocked.
I thought that one was for sure blocked. Josh Collins.
And he's just going to go down at the 20.
Tried to dance, but did not go anywhere.
But that turned out to be great for the Elks. We're going to see here in a replay. Well, at the beginning of the play, Springboro just had 2 people burst through the line, and it's like unblocked. And I was waiting for it to get blocked and surprised it wasn't.
Yeah, Springboro taking a gamble with not much to lose here, but so far, Jared, they are playing like they have something to lose. Landon Palmer looking fantastic. And he has 1 touchdown to Case. A good drive last time, Kesaday with the touchdown, and here we are. This is their 4th drive.
Kesaday powers through.
And he just runs like a grown man. You see him put his shoulder down. He sees the defensive lineman, doesn't try to create space. He doesn't try to run through a gap. He goes straight through him.
22.
And that's what I mean by running as an attitude, Jared. You see a perfect example of it there. And haven't seen Armbruster on since halfway through last drive.
He's right there on the sideline, so I don't know if he's waiting to come in or not. Palmer's going to fake it, and he's going to be wrapped up in the backfield. First, it looked like, I don't know if that was 37 or 97.
27, actually. Will Hefner, an animal tonight.
Right, so far, that's at least his third tackle.
Yeah, I think that's 4. I'm not sure, but Will Hefner. And stifling 2 Springboro attempts for the first down.
So the junior making some big plays here on senior night.
Centerville comes out there 3-4 to counter the spread offense. 2 stacks of receivers on each side.
Palmer's going to go back to pass. He's going to throw it to the sideline, and it is hauled in.
Goodness.
No, incomplete.
Oh, my
They're going to say
goodness.
that drew him out of bounds.
Willian Yates. That throw by Landon Palmer, the fact that he even hit Willian Yates' hands. And Yates at 5'10". Keep in mind, Landon Palmer under pressure over 2 defenders. The fact he even made this throw is exceptional.
I don't know, do we want to listen to the Elks head coach or the referee?
And if you look, he looks like he got both feet down.
Oh, high school, it's only 1. That might have been a toe tap.
Yeah, I definitely think that was a catch unless there was some ball action afterwards. But again, the refs cannot see what we can see. So there's the pour on with the punt.
Look at this one. If it can roll a few more yards, it's going to be it's going to be down at the 30 or the 25. If it could have rolled 5 more yards, that would have been his 12th punt inside the 20.
And offense, on defense, on special teams, Springboro is firing on all cylinders tonight.
What a field flipping play.
And compared to what Centerville has done on offense and defense, they're dominating this game. This is a 14-0 domination.
Centerville takes over 1st and 10 from
And a quick flip of the ball. Centerville got some momentum, got stopped after that second quarter in. Springboro gives it right back to him. And shall we compliment the Centerville defense getting the ball back for their guys already.
Harrison looks like he's going to run up the middle. Oh, no, that was McMahon.
Run by number 8, Bryce McMahon.
Yeah, I think that was Harrison. Harrison wasn't on the field. Bryce McMahon took a wildcat snap. Definitely confused me. Yeah, Jackson Linkhart is going to be at the top of your screen. You got a 3 receiver trips at the bottom.
I'm confused why Centerville has the ball at the 45. The Panthers downed it at the 25. Harrison's going to roll to the right, and he rolls back into the coverage of the Panthers.
Oh, my goodness. Bryce McMahon with a clutch block, and he just throws it out, but what a way to create.
Harrison's pass goes out of bounds, incomplete.
And we couldn't see what Harrison was seeing, Jared, but it looked like there were so many Panthers back there. There had to be an open man.
You would have thought, well, and they're lucky there wasn't an illegal receiver downfield.
But nonetheless, we talked about that was one of the keys to the game. Harrison's improvising
and
ability.
We just talked about it, and they did signal an illegal defender downfield for the Elks. So that they're trying to, well, it looks like Springboro's trying to decline it. You see the Elks here now looking, the defense is out now looking like, what do we have to do to try and get some stops? And really, I think all you got to do is just keep number 27 on the field for the Elks, and he's going to stop them.
So trips at the bottom now for the Centerville Elks. 3rd and 9 once again.
Harrison back to pass, and he's going to throw it complete.
That's good.
To, I believe that's Meade again. Or no, that's 25. That is Nick Tobe. Or no, Ryan Kiefer, sorry.
And Ryan Kiefer, not a guy who gets involved often, more of a blocking wide receiver.
And look at Centerville quickly up on the ball.
And this is what you like to see if you're the Elks. Up-tempo, spread-out offense.
Harrison back to pass, throws it to the outside, and it is incomplete, intended. It looked like to Kiefer again.
Had to make a big jump there.
And 10 at the 39 of the Panthers.
And almost a throwaway play there because of Harrison's throw. And we've seen him tested the past 4 weeks. Still a very young quarterback. We haven't seen a guy go through this much adversity through his sophomore year. It can only make him greater. Chase Harrison, handoff to McMahon right there.
And he is tackled in the backfield immediately by number 5, Kessaday, for the Panthers.
He's my player to watch last week, your player to watch this week. You should watch him, folks. That kid is an animal. He is going to be their X factor, I believe, in the playoffs.
3rd and 11, 8:50 left and counting here in our MVCC game of the week, second quarter.
You see the young Harrison, the leader of his team on senior night, trying to bring his veterans a W. McMahon motion to the left.
Throws it to the middle of the field, and it is hauled in by Smith. And Smith keeps control.
That is some attitude to hang on to the ball and fight
I
through
was
that
for sure
tackle.
thought he was going to let go of it.
Fantastic by Cam Smith. And how about the recognition by Harrison? You see his eyes go all over the field and finally fires in the middle over that offensive line straight to Cam Smith.
And Centerville quickly back up on the line, but they're taking time. McMahon, no, Harrison's going to pull it out, throws it to the middle of the field. I believe that is Linkhart. And that'll be down to about the 11, maybe the 12, so another first down.
That's their money man on offense. We talked about him before the game. My player to watch. First in receiving yards, first in receptions, first in touchdowns. Gets another big one right here.
Under 8 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Centerville driving. McMahon gets the carry right up the middle, and he maybe gets to the 10. Oh, he broke a tackle and maybe gets to the 9 now.
Broke 2 tackles, actually. Almost got loose, but in Xavier Trent. Good pursuit by him coming almost when the play's over. So Harrison taking direction from the sideline very attentively. You'll see a 2nd and 8 here in the second quarter with about 7 minutes left. So good position here for the Centerville Elks to get their first score. Cam Smith is in motion.
McMahon will get the carry. No, Harrison's going to keep it. Smith with the block, and Harrison might lose a yard on the play.
I think he got right back to the chains. Maybe gained a yard, but still came up short of any gain.
But watch this block Smith just puts on him. I don't know if that's number
Brock Bernard.
33. Bernard wasn't expecting that, but 3rd and 8 here. Depending on what comes of this play, is it 4-down territory for the Elks?
I think so, especially I think by going for it here on 4th down, they don't have much of a kicking game. They have enough to make this field goal, but you're showing confidence in your offense. I think they need a little confidence, a little push by their coordinators. Harrison drops
back to pass. Gets hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. And that was intended to
bang play.
Kiefer again. Kiefer's been targeted 4 times on this drive. And now 4th and 8 from the 10. This is what we're talking about. Do you take the points to build momentum as a building block for the first score of the foundation of the game?
I think you show the confidence in your offense right here. I think they go out there and I think they go for it. I think they get it too. I think they had a play drawn up for this exact situation. They may be pulling it out a little early, but this is an essential touchdown for right now, Jared, for the sake of your momentum.
Right, because if you don't get it, Springboro can take this ball and go down the field 90 yards.
Yeah, you know he can,
and you'll fall down 21-0, and they get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, they can definitely take time off this clock here. You saw a slight injury timeout. Number 64, Irvin Smith, gets helped off the field.
And Centerville's, I think looks like they're going to take the field goal here.
And it looked like they had a little angel devil
hesitation,
going
yeah.
on there. But nonetheless, they will put it in the hands of their kicker. That'll be number 85, Matthew Graveling. He's been a
And that was a delay of game. I don't know what his long is of the year, but I mean, I think
excuse me, that was Brendan Salo. My bad.
Oh, Salo's back on the kick. We've seen him split kicks this year for some reason. Salo seems like he's the predominant field goal kicker. This one will be from about 34 yards out. High snap, kick is up, and kick is good.
And that's a good field goal for high school football right there. That was about, 37 yards almost?
About that.
So a great kick to continue this game here, and Centerville finally gets some points on the board and some momentum going.
14-3 now. Now your defense has to come out and force another stop.
Yeah, this is where the mental game comes in huge here. And you got to, looking at the offense, coming back onto the sideline, catching some breath, tapping him on the shoulder and saying, I got you. Defense and offense has to work together here. You can still change the course of this game if you get a stop and go up and get us another score here.
Right.
Even with Springboro having this ball at halftime, you can still change the course. You'll see Salo and the Centerville special teams unit come out for this one.
And just in case they were thinking about onsiding it, Springboro's going to line up with people at the 50. Well, now they're going to spread out.
Nice by Springboro to react to those formations.
And Salo's going to send a high kick fielded at about the 18-yard line. Bursts through and tackled it. That's Kessaday with about an 11-yard return. Looked like he was tackled by number 2, Maurice Lawrence, and number 9, Jonathan Bruder.
You'll see a replay here. Kessaday just coming up and putting his shoulder down. Huge collision right there.
So 6:41 and 3 timeouts left. Clock time is not an issue for the Panthers. And Palmer coming on kind of went stalled the last 2 possessions.
Wow, what a play.
42, it looks like.
That was Chris Artis. Well, actually, I think that was number 48. Noah
yeah.
Holmes.
A loss of 3 on the play, and that is Centerville's biggest play on defense.
Yeah, he's had some great games this year so far, just filling in at that linebacker spot. More of a coverage guy. Comes right around that edge, and they'll put Case in motion here on the 3-receiver set.
Gonna throw it out to Case. Spin move, and he's going to be tackled for about another 2-yard loss. So Centerville's defense is starting to wake up here.
Yeah, you can hear the crowd starting to wake up as well. Getting some energy on this sideline. And here you go on the replay. Just a little dump out. Thomas cannot hold the block. So it slows Case down and allows Bruder to catch up.
A loss of 2 on that play. So 3rd and 14 now here for the Panthers.
This Springboro offense is really dangerous. The Centerville Elks cannot sleep here.
Palmer's going to roll to the right, and he's going to keep rolling. Throws a bullet, and it bounces to, it looks like Case, incomplete.
And great containment.
Centerville comes out and enforces a quick 3-and-out. Only took about 40 seconds off the clock.
And just aggressive. I feel like that drive was a product of that tape. You saw how attentive they were on that sideline in fixing their mistakes. They determine how this game goes. If this defense can hold the Panthers, Centerville's eventually going to get their plays. They're going to get their execution.
So now let's see how much of a leg DePore puts into this one, trying to pin the Elks deep.
Before halftime, this is a big one.
High snap, moves him back, and DePore gets it off, and it's a high kick. It's not going to get to midfield, and it's going to take a Centerville bounce backwards at about the 48, maybe.
At the Springboro 47-yard line.
So that was probably DePore's worst punt of the season.
Yeah, and it's really the long snapper's fault, though. Because
That was a very high snap.
threw him off of his form. He started pedaling back and only had about one step to get his momentum going after
And that's why the punt went so high.
And kind of sideways, too, if you notice the way it floated. But nonetheless, those mistakes on offense, that mistake on special teams sets up a Harrison drive. Let's see what he can do, Jared. This young quarterback can execute and change the entire game right here.
That ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage by number 23 of the
Trent.
for the Panthers.
And he's been kind of a silent guy on this defense. He's been making plays this season,
But that was probably his biggest one of the season, getting that tip right there.
39 tackles so far amongst the top of their secondary, along with one pick.
Harrison making orders at the line of scrimmage, going to be back for 2nd and 10.
3 receivers at the top of your screen.
Harrison's going to fake it, going to throw it out to, that's Meade. Again, Meade will have the first down to about the 31, maybe the 32.
Gorgeous play action motion there. Harrison sold it all the way, set his feet really quick.
And that's probably his
Fake,
best
set.
looking throw.
Boom. Straight in the hands.
Didn't overthrow it, didn't underthrow it at all.
Springboro 32-yard line.
And I feel like this offense is being very observant now and meticulous when it comes to their execution. Harrison playing with precision here in this second quarter. Here we go again. Trips at the bottom of your screen now. Smith in motion. McMahon behind Harrison.
Low snap, McMahon will get the carry right up the middle, and he is tackled immediately. And I'm going to assume that's 58 for the Panthers. Or 56, Caleb Pretty.
Pretty's been also an impactful part of this defense. 3 sacks in the interior.
In complimentary to Snur and Kowalski.
Yeah, also Logan Maines. He's a big guy. Right above center. He sets the tone for this entire defense, but you don't talk about him a lot. 2nd and long.
McMahon's going to get the carry, and he bursts through. He's at the 20, cuts it back in at the 10. Spin move down to the 6.
McMahon being explosive. This is something Trotwood could not do last week, Jared. They could not get their running game going whatsoever. We saw Hudson Davis, all the fumbles. He went absolutely nowhere on the field. This is the first rushing defense in all of GWOC, and you see the push on the offensive line. But Bryce McMahon just extending the play about 8 yards just with his explosiveness. Fantastic execution by the Centerville offensive line there.
As we approach 3.5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter.
Smith in motion once again. It's been a good tool for them today.
Low snap on the ground. McMahon gets the carry, and he's going to be pushed back by number 4, Cameron Snur. And the head ref takes a tumble.
You don't see that often. That was great. That's the play of the year right there.
And here we're going to get a replay of that. This is just a very low snap on the ground almost.
He basically tosses it over
right.
to McMahon.
I wonder if that's going to be a toss or one of those shovel pitches to the side.
And the real story of that play is the ref falling over.
Right. I've never seen the head ref take a tumble like that.
Goal-to-go situation. Smith in motion. Here we go.
Smith gets the pitch. He gets to the outside, and he's going to be tackled for about a loss of 4 on the play.
Wow, look at that footwork. Big man go. Caleb Pretty. Tracking down Bryce McMahon, who is rather quick at the running back position. Or it's Cameron Smith, excuse me. He was a slot receiver coming on the jet sweep.
So it's going to be 3rd and 10. Or 2nd and 10.
You saw Springboro. They're bringing the blitz from the outside. And I don't think the play is going to be called. I think it was a timeout. So timeout Springboro on the play. I don't think the refs caught that one. I think only one did. Like, cause some.
So do we need to send a health crew out there to check the referee for concussion protocol?
Yeah, I definitely think people are going to be checking on him. But a great game we have on our hands so far. And this one could have been lopsided a few different times. Springboro on the cusp of bringing this one to a blowout. And here you see great effort by Caleb Pretty. He's a big man moving at a fast pace. On the MVCC Game of the Week replay, this Springboro D has been exceptional tonight, but Centerville once again pushing up the field. Have another goal-to-goal situation and another opportunity to flip the momentum of this game.
Right, if they could get a score here, just be down 4 as we approach halftime.
Well, excuse me, I don't think it's going to be flipping the momentum. I think they had the momentum. They're just advancing it more on their side.
And it's just like last week's game. I mean, Trotwood won the first quarter. Springboro came back and won the second and the third quarter, and Trotwood
came with the third quarter too, but Springboro, Kessaday really capping that game off.
You're going to see Linkhart go all the way top to bottom of your screen. And it looked like Harrison was going to look that way. Harrison's going to scramble, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 9, so only about a gain of 1. So 4th and goal here, and Centerville doesn't hesitate as they're going to send out Salo in the field goal unit.
And Springboro Springboro isn't only the #1 rushing D. They are also the best defense in the red zone. They're really good in short yardage situations. That's what makes them successful, and you see it again here.
About a 27-yard attempt. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So Salo has 2 field goals in a row. So a minute 46 left and 3 timeouts for the Panthers, but they haven't been able to move the ball the last couple drives very well.
Yeah, Centerville has been firing.
That is a bad snap by the long snapper. I mean, when the ball's coming at you like that, it's not. I mean, that was coming at him like it was a pass.
A good adjustment on the fly, though.
I think that's something that you're going to see them practicing on the sideline here.
And I think they're bringing Chase Harrison, and you see the whole offense down there at the TV screen trying to go over what went wrong. Jared, I think going forward they are going to succeed in those 30 yards to 20 yards to goal situations, so they don't find themselves in those short yardage situations anymore.
And really, Springboro is showing the bend but not break mentality on defense. Centerville has gotten to the 2 and the 6, but have not been able to find the end zone yet.
Yeah, that red zone defense and the rush is really where they excel, and they're showing it once again tonight. Springboro's front 7 is nothing to play with. The kick goes deep, and he lost it. That's going to be Timmy Kessaday.
Kessaday will get it, gets out to about the 20. He'll be down at about actually it looks like the 19. But that was after putting it on the ground.
Yeah, fantastic carry, honestly, by Timmy Kessaday. If that was anybody else on the team, it would have been down 8 yards ago. So now brings out this Springboro attack. They're 2nd in points per game. We've already said that stat tonight, but these huge plays, and when they need them, this is what they're known for. And let's see if it's Kessaday they target, Yates, Case, Khalil Trent. You see him coming out on the field at the bottom of your screen. Brandon Thomas is a deep threat. They have so many weapons at their disposal, Jared, but let's see which one they pull out of their belt. You see Yates is isolated at the top of your screen.
Palmer is going to hand it off to Kessaday. Kessaday with a big run out to about the 25, so about a gain of 5 on the play. And it looks like Springboro has all intent of just letting this one run out.
Yeah, I think they're really content with how the game has gone so far, especially with them getting the ball at the second half. And I also think they're going to pull out some more strategies and some things that they haven't pulled out yet to try, kind of get themselves over this bar that they've been stopped at.
And Palmer's going to throw it out to the outside, and Yates will have it for a first down. Yates' first catch of the game, I believe.
Yeah, he's been targeted 3 other times, but just can't get him on those big plays. So 4 receivers wide.
And look, Palmer has the team right there and ready to go right when the chains are set. Palmer's going to tuck it. He's going to scramble. He's going to lob it to the Yates on the outside. Yates cuts it across and out of bounds. And let's see if he was pushed out of bounds or inbounds.
Yeah, I think that was out of bounds there, Jared, but I have not seen such great footwork in high school football before. Landon Palmer, the big 6'5" quarterback, maneuvering his feet, almost looking like Patty Mahomes back there.
I was about to say, let's going to watch this scramble. He's going to run. He's predominantly right-handed, and he pushes that one with his left hand.
No, that was right. That was with his right hand, but still, just the way he did it, moving to the left side, kind of shuffling that pass out last second. It looked lackluster, but he got it there.
Enough for a first down.
Yeah.
And Palmer's going to go back to pass. He's going to tuck it and run. He'll have the first down, and he's going to go down. And let's see if Springboro calls a timeout at the 45 with 43.8 seconds left.
And what great skill Landon Palmer has. He is so big, moving so fast.
They're not going to call the timeout. The clock is running, and Palmer looks mad as he's trying to get the line set. He's going to go back to pass. Throws it to Case.
Trent.
Or is that is Trent.
And they really need this timeout right here.
And I think Will Hite called it with 30 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, and you can do that kind of stuff. You practice those up-tempo plays, which you're going to run in those situations. But in high school, you only have a few plays on the cue. And once you use those plays, people kind of start to get confused because you can't run the same things over and over again. So at some point, you need coach direction. And I understand Palmer's frustration right there. Because as a quarterback, not only are you just throwing the ball, you're getting the ball where it needs to go. You're leading a group of 10 other guys, and you're telling all of them what to do at the same time. And you see him there.
He was frustrated.
Yeah, and definitely expressing it in his motions.
But on that last play, on that run, when he was going down, that ball moved a little bit. I don't know if you saw that or not.
So here we go.
Out to the Panthers timeout with 30 seconds left in the first half.
And Palmer dropping back.
Palmer back to pass. He's going to step up in the pocket, throws it to Trent. Trent cuts it out, and he'll be tackled at the 22, but a flag on the play.
Ooh, that flag could come back and bite him. Let's see what it is.
Neither team is moving.
Oh, I
that
think
might be a block in the back on Yates, and now the Panthers are walking back.
And what a brutal mistake there. Blocking the back didn't even really benefit him that much. Gained about 5 extra yards. Yates has to be kicking himself now.
So it's going to be second and about 5.
And in the back of Centerville's mind, they are thinking prevent here, Jared. You cannot allow anything huge to happen.
And the clock is running, and I don't know if Springboro notices it. 17 seconds left. Palmer gets it. He's going to run to the right, rolls it, throws it in the end zone to Case, and it is hauled
my
in.
Goodness.
No signal yet.
That's a touchdown, Jared. I believe that was a touchdown. He had 1 foot in the end zone.
Still no signal yet from the
refs,
and it is.
Touchdown. Landon Palmer, the Titan Case, with about the play of the year for Springboro.
Here we go. One more look at this one.
Oh,
Steps
my
up in the pocket and just heaves it downfield to Case. And he taps the toe.
1 foot down. The ball moves a little bit, but he still has possession on it. Oh, wow.
Excellent coverage there by Luke Miller, number 7 for the Elks. But when you're dropping dimes like that, how can you even... I mean, you can't defend that. It was right in the corner of the front of the end zone.
And producing some oohs and ahs from this crowd. And
Centerville's kick is up and good.
Centerville won this second quarter, I believe, Jared. Other than that play, Centerville had everything going for him other than the red zone offense part. But here we go again. Landon Palmer just throwing the quarter of Centerville defense away with that one. And Centerville had it covered. They had a one-on-one situation. Austin Bacon almost had a position. That is just a great play right there. And sometimes you can't do much about great plays.
Right. I mean, somebody needs to get a replay of this and send it into Sports Center.
And look at Ryan Elams there making that tackle. Chris Artis coming outside.
You see there, look at that. That is so close, right on the edge of the black.
Hashtag MVCC top 10, Jared.
Hashtag Sports Center top 10.
We're going to have to start making a top play reel of the season.
The WCWT broadcast.
All right, we'll get you started on that after this week.
Sounds good.
So, 8.5 seconds left.
And just a dreamlike drive from Springboro. That's exactly the potential they have every single time they step on the field to play offense, but you don't always count on that. And Centerville has studied stuff like that all week to stop the big play and stop this scoring offense, but wasn't quite able to get enough position there. And so the ball comes back to Centerville, but I'm almost 100% sure they're going to run this clock out. And they got 4 seconds left. I think Harrison's going to come out. Victory formation, just kneel this one. Try to get to the second half.
And really, Centerville has a lot to work on defensively. Now they're down 21-6.
And that's Titan Case's second touchdown of the game, 4th in the past 2 weeks, 7th on the season. Titan Case has been the man.
And Harrison's just going to take a knee, and that's going to do it for the first half of our MVCC Game of the Week finale for week number 10. Springboro leading Centerville 21-6. We're going to toss it down to the bands, and we'll be back after halftime. never mind. They're just using that as just to watch the clock manual operated.
Just to watch the clock? Or
Yeah.
Or did they want the whole board?
No, just the clock.
I mean, it was like...
I'm Jared. I'm Joe's in the bedroom.
Oh, they're yours. I was like, we don't have any space heaters up here. What? Just so it would stay. Either way, I can say my school won. So it doesn't matter. I would like Centerville to win just because they paid me. They've had a great season. The other end. It's a good turnout. It'll take a bit of filling.
I had him for chemistry. I think it was chemistry I had him. Some science.
Because he was my coach for years. Okay. Please don't ruin the circuits up here. That's all I'm saying.
The Springboro High School Marching Band.
He butchered the name.
The Springboro Band would like to thank the staff, students, and administration at Centerville High School for hosting the Springboro Band at halftime. Best of luck to Brandon Barametti and Scott Gasaway and the Centerville Jazz Band this season. And good luck to Springboro High School Marching Band as they travel to Welcome Stadium this Sunday night at 8 p.m. for OMEA Marching Band Finals. Please welcome the Centerville Jazz Band. the Centerville Jazz Band.
All right, welcome back to the second half of our MVCC Game of the Week for the 2019 finale. Here in week number 10, Springboro is currently leading 21-6, and they're set to get the ball first here, but Centerville did make some strides in the end of that second quarter, but now it has to rely on their defense to come out and get a stop here. Jeff, do you think they can?
Yeah, I definitely think they're perfectly capable of making these stops, as they showed throughout the second quarter, but when it comes down to that one-on-one situation, there's not much you can do. And right now, Springboro, they have more talent. Their offense simply has more talent than Centerville's defense, and they're using those one-on-one matchups to really get into gear. Their offensive line is creating lanes for Landon Palmer in this passing game, and his footwork has really been the key to the game so far.
And Centerville comes out with an onside kick. It's touched by the Panthers, and I think Centerville got it back.
Centerville
and the
has
Elks do! Centerville comes up with a Sean Payton play to start the second half, and Centerville recovers it.
And what an amazing strategy. They come out after an unfortunate end to that first half. Landon Palmer making an amazing play. Centerville comes out with an onside kick, flipping the script to the entire game. How about that? And give credit to the Centerville coaching staff. You see it here on the MVCC Game of the Week replay. All mundane. Salo's walking around. He's coming up like it's a regular kick.
And now Harrison.
Surprise.
Harrison back to pass. Is going to throw it to, that is number 11, Brown.
They pull a little trick. They pull a little trick and they get a little treat.
What a way to start the second half. That gets all the momentum back on your side, but Centerville has got to capitalize on this. It's the final second half of week 10. They got to win and have help getting the playoffs, and that helps you out quite a bit.
Yeah, and you know, before the half, Harrison was looking at that tape very thoroughly.
Harrison back to pass.
Smith on a drag. He's looking at him.
And it's going to be intercepted.
Oh, my goodness.
What a play by Titan Case.
Good play by Titan Case, getting the bobbled ball. And really a crucial drop there. Nick Meade just cannot hang on to it. Bounces off of his hands. You see here, Harrison drops back. He tries to laser it in. It bounces off Meade's hands, and Case just happens to get it. But how about the play from Meade on the ground? Reaches out, grabs a foot.
Yeah, that's definitely, that probably would have saved a touchdown.
Yeah, it might be play of the game if Centerville can come back and win this, because Case almost definitely, with that top-end speed, had it going into the touchdown.
Palmer's going to fake the pitch, and Armbruster looked very confused there. Armbruster's like, I was supposed to get the ball.
Yeah, I don't think that was a read option, and I think Moyes Armbruster had the better lane and better chance to create on top of that.
Second and 10 on 47.
And he didn't even gain a yard.
Yeah, a fantastic play by Jonathan Bruder. Haven't called his name a lot. He was a player to watch earlier this year for me. The leader in tackles by Centerville by a large margin, and also has 4 sacks in the year.
Armbruster gets the carry, and
he's pummeled immediately.
I thought he was down.
Yeah, he's definitely down. Will Hefner coming down with another tackle. And he has been an animal this game in the middle of the field. You see, he just pummels him.
Well, he wasn't down. It looked like he was sitting on top of one of his linemen, but he tackled maybe a couple inches later. But third down here, it's going to be third and about 9. Centerville needs to force the stop and try and get the ball back after that gutsy play. Palmer back to pass. Palmer hit as he was going to tug it, and he skips it to Case.
And he cannot make magic again. We've seen Palmer succeed in those opportunities tonight, but can't quite pull it through. And that'll bring up a great scenario for Centerville, even though this kind of alters the momentum they gained from the onside kick. Still make a great defensive stop and get the ball back in their hands. And a lot to consume in a little amount of time, Jared. Onside kick, interception, and now Springboro punting it already.
And we're not even 2 minutes into the third quarter.
The pour on the punt almost blocked, but that is a boomer.
And that one bounces at the 10, and it's going to roll in, and the Panthers are going to down it at the 1.
That was a nearly flawless punt, Matthew DePore, and that might be up there with his long of the season. He has a long of 54 for a punt, averages about 40 yards a punt. But
yeah, that is definitely longer than 54.
And would you look at that? It goes past the returners.
Some unnecessary chippiness there from number 18, Adam Berry, and Maurice Lawrence for the Elks. But this is not where you want to be. I mean, you got 99 yards between you and the next score.
Yeah, and McMahon is behind Harrison in the middle of his end zone.
I mean, you can't even say the shadow of your own goalpost because it's pitch black out, and McMahon gets some working room now on that run.
That was a very risky play, too. It all was on the offensive line's shoulders there. But yet they get out of their own end zone, and now Harrison can go back in the shotgun with a little comfort here. You'll see Harrison taking direction from his sideline attentively before returning back under center. Behind center, excuse me. Trips to the top of the screen.
You're stumbling here, Jeff.
Smith in the motion.
McMahon, no, Harrison's going to pull it out, throw it to Meade, I believe. Or no, that might be Kiefer.
Yeah, I think
and
that
Kiefer
is
has
Nick
the
Meade.
first down.
Nick Meade just gets right over. Those yellow numbers are getting you.
Case with the tackle there for the Panthers. But now they got a first down, and they got some room between them and the end zone. Now they got a couple play action passes maybe come into effect here.
4 receivers wide now for the Elks. Meade in motion.
McMahon is going to get the carry, and he is hit immediately in the backfield for about a loss of 3, and I think that was tackled by number 4, Snur.
Great penetration by the middle of that front 7 with Swartz and Snur straight up the middle. Can't get anything going for the Centerville Elks. Connor Hundley could not handle number 9 right there, or number 4. They were coming fast, and 2nd and 11 now for the Centerville Elks. Almost 4 minutes through this eventful first quarter,
And
third
Centerville
quarter.
looks like they're going to call a timeout.
Timeout, Centerville.
And with this quick into the third quarter, those ones will come back, and you will need those later.
For sure, but felt like he needed to use it here in this very important series. If they score 99 yards down the field, that's going to get their team going on another type of frequency, especially when your first touchdown of the game comes
Late in the third.
on something like this drive.
And this one, I mean, if they score, it cuts it to 8, so it's within striking distance at that point.
The Centerville Football Mothers Club thanks to Centerville Community.
So, I mean, it's just not a 2nd and 12 play here. It's 2nd and 12 and then plays after.
Yeah, you see Ulrich in the middle of his huddle.
Chick-fil-A, City Barbecue, Great Clips, Los Pyramid's, La Rosa's Pizza, Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, McDonald's, Giada,
So now, out of the Elks timeout, they're going to send 2 receivers down here to the bottom of your screen. One to the top, and then Meade is going to be in that slot role.
McMahon behind Harrison. Here we go. And the cold in week 10.
Smith goes in motion. Harrison back to pass, throws it quickly to the outside, and it is hauled in. I believe that is Linkhart. And Linkhart has the first down, and the refs finally blow the whistle.
He refused to go down on that play. The 6'5", 220 receiver carrying about 2 different defenders on his back.
now for another Centerville Elks, first down.
And that type of body type, you almost have no other option but to be successful on the outside and as a receiver.
And you would think Centerville would play with a little bit more up-tempo here. Or at least play up-tempo to get maybe into their own territory. McMahon, no, they're going to fake it. He's going to throw it to Smith. Smith gets to about the 33.
And I really like that play call there from Centerville. If only they could pull something like that out in the red zone, I really think that would be successful for them. Every single time I see a play so far on the Centerville offense, I'm thinking, how could that work in the red zone? What can they do to penetrate this Springboro red zone defense? And I think the jet sweep triple option bodes really well for that type of situation. But nonetheless, here we go. Connor Wall is in tight end position.
Haven't really seen him on the field tonight offensively. 2nd and 5.
Smith in motion again.
They're going to throw it out to
It's Connor Walls with the tight end
Walls, and
screen.
he will have a first down close to about the 45. Let's see where they officially mark him out. Actually about at the 43, so what a huge play for his first catch of the night, and that was almost tipped there at the line of scrimmage.
Beautiful throw, really, by Chase Harrison. Was anticipating the jump. And Connor Walls is a guy they really need to get involved in this offense.
Right, didn't really see his name come up on the stat sheet either the last couple weeks either.
Yeah, he's had 14 receptions this year, 140 yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns, along with 40 tackles. He's really a staple in the defense, though. 5 receivers now here for Centerville. Just getting spaced out.
Meade's going to come in motion. Harrison's going to go back to pass. They're going to throw a screen to Brown.
Oh, my goodness. What a play. Xavier Trent.
Trent read that screenplay perfectly.
He was glued to the side of Linkhart.
And it's going to be about a loss of 4 on the play.
9-yard line. 2nd and 14.
And fakes it. And you see the offensive line trying to get out there, but Trent reads it the entire time. That's a play they've used a couple times this year.
Connor Hundley could not get out there to block Trent.
And Xavier Trent really making more of an impact than we thought he would tonight. Collins and Trent are double teaming Linkhart now. Walls in motion.
McMahon's going to get the carry. He runs right up the middle
Run up the middle by number 8.
and gets maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 3rd and long here for the Elks. And at this point, you've got to try and get 6 or 7 yards if you're not going to go for the full 10, because this is approaching 4-down territory as we approach 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
The Springboro D was really tough there.
And with that run, after the run, you look down in the Centerville stands, and they're kind of like scratching their heads. Why are you running it for only a gain of 2 or 3 when we're down 21-6?
Yeah, I thought it was honestly nicely timed, especially reacting to the defense. They crashed the right side, but this front 7, this Springboro D is so good at stopping the run. I think they're going to force Harrison to win this game.
Harrison's going to go back to pass. He's going to throw it deep down the field, and it is incomplete. Intended, I believe that was Smith.
For number 3, Cam Smith, ball incomplete.
Yeah, Cam Smith could not take the top off. He had a little separation, but it would take a pinpoint throw to get it over those 2 guys.
And now there looked like a little hesitation between the punting team and the offense. It looked like Harrison wanted to stay on the field, but
Yeah.
4th and 8, not even to midfield, you can't go for it there.
Yeah, he was really confident, and he's really young. He's going to get fired up like that, but ultimately Brent Ulrey has been around this game for a long time, so ultimately he has the say.
Snap, and it looks they're going to fake it deep down the middle of the field, and it is incomplete.
Don't know what happened there. You saw Linkhart with the cross, but it looked like Springboro read it all the way. And Centerville did not have an alternative option. I felt like
I like the play call.
Yeah,
I mean, the
for
guts
sure.
to go for it there, the determination. But if you're going to do that, you probably have a better setup if you have Harrison back there and just
For
go
sure.
for it on 4th and 8.
I thought if they were going to go for it, they definitely should have brought out the regular offensive formation.
And why are you trying to? I mean, Linkhart almost came up with it, but why are you trying to throw it 10 yards past the line or past the first down when you only needed 8?
But that's why we're up here, Jared. We're
Find a
not coaches.
check down. Palmer back to pass, throws it to, and it is caught by Trent.
Pass complete to number 13, Julio Trent.
And that was that was not enough for a first down. 2nd and about 7.
Tackle made by the Elks, number 2, Maurice Flores.
And right now, Springboro with the momentum back on their side, finally.
2nd and 2.
Centerville had 2 really good pushes, but could not quite get it done on 3rd down. Palmer, Case back.
Case. Case will have a first down run. Case
Titan
still's on his feet. Case at the 15, 10, tackled down around the 5.
And rumbling there, too. Titan Case in the Wildcats.
We both went to say Palmer.
And that's the crazy part. You
And
see
look,
Landon
Palmer's out
Palmer.
there. He's throwing the lead block.
What a play. You got some Taysom Hill, Drew Brees action right there. You switch the wide receiver to
But
quarterback. And
that
get Landon
holding
Palmer
play
out there.
negates it. That holding play or that holding penalty negates that huge run.
And that's killer right there. But that formation right there is going to shine through in the playoffs. I think that's something that Springboro is waiting to pull out at any time. A really good second and short play call right there. They used it on first, but here we go.
So it's going to be 2nd and 8 now. Palmer back to pass, throws it out to the outside, hauled in by Yates, stays inbounds, first down, breaks a tackle, stays, and he's tackled at about the 25, maybe the 24.
And my goodness, my player to watch, Willian Yates, gets the ball in short yardage. He spins off one dude.
Stays inbounds,
Makes
too.
another miss. Stiff arms another one. And it takes Jonathan Bruder, the Elks' leading tackler, to get someone on him. So 3 receivers wide now. Titan Case at the tight end position. You got Khalil Trent at the bottom of your screen behind the score bar.
And it looks like
Armbruster.
Armbruster's going to get the carry right up the middle for about a gain of 3.
Good push by the Springboro offensive line, but better job by Centerville trapping up Moyes Armbruster till he could not go anywhere. So here we go again.
2nd and 7, only a gain of 3.
Up tempo, same formation. Here we go. We've seen this a couple different times from Springboro last week. They had a lot of success not switching formations.
Palmer back, throws it. It is complete to Yates, and he trips.
Yeah, he bobbled it too, Jared. He almost didn't secure the catch, so I think he went down instead of losing it.
So it's going to be 3rd and 1, maybe 3rd and a long 2 or short 2. And if Centerville can hold him here, you would have to say that's a win.
This is the 3rd play in a row with the same formation, Jared. We saw this a lot last week. 3 receivers set. Case at the tight end to the right. Drops back a little bit. Looking like it's going to be a run here.
Armbruster gets a carry. Armbruster bursts through, and Armbruster's going to be in. Moist Armbruster from 17 yards out, putting 7 more on the board for the Panthers and extending the lead now 27-6 with the extra point coming from DePore.
And this explosive little bolt of lightning, number 8, Moyes Armbruster gets his 8th touchdown of the year against this Centerville D. Great push by the offensive line, more of like a counter play. They motion to the left. Moyes Armbruster bounced through the hole between the tackle and the guard. And there's just no catching this guy. When he's in open field and within a 30-yard radius, you're not going to track him down.
And DePore booms that one through. I can't find it now. That one's gone.
Into the Centerville night, DePore puts the ball, and the Springboro Panthers go up 28-6 in this MVCC Game of the Week 10 matchup.
Still time for Centerville to try and mount something, but they've got to buckle down here on this offensive line. It has to get better blocking.
They're definitely not getting as much as a push there on the run, and give credit to this defensive line from Springboro. They run a 3-4, but those 4 guys are so athletic. They plug and play Timmy Kessaday and Collins between outside linebacker and defensive back. You got Nathan Swartz. You got Cameron Snur in the middle, and here we go, the replay of the last play. It gets past the first level, goes to the right, and there's nobody in the linebacking corps that can catch him. With Logan Maines, Caleb Pretty, Jake Kowalski, those guys are really making a difference out there now. And perhaps one of the biggest players of the game, Xavier Trent. But now Armbruster and Kessaday have touchdowns for the Springboro offense. Case has 2 of them.
And DePore is going to boom this one, and it is going to be fielded at about the 4. And it's going to be taken out to about the 20. So same spot if he would just let it bounce. But, I mean, that's probably the shortest kick we've seen DePore do on a kickoff, and that's to the 4.
For sure. He's a Division I talent, no doubt about that. We've seen a lot of kickers, a lot of bad kickers, a couple of good ones in the past couple years. But every single time Springboro steps on the field, we know we're going to get a good kicking performance.
Right. The last 3 have been excellent and hold state records.
Yeah, they're definitely going to go down as a special teams-oriented school, believe it or not, as a high school. Great program they have there. But nonetheless, brings out a Centerville offense that is ranked 3rd in the conference. Cannot get going today.
It's this number 1 rush defense from the Panthers that's halting it. Harrison's going to go for it all, and it is incomplete. And that's going to be a pass interference against, I believe that's Bernard.
Yeah, Brock Bernard, number 33, the safety out there, trying to cover Cam Smith's grounds.
I mean, they're going to call it pass interference, but, I mean, there was nowhere near either of them.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more of a holding, to be honest. No, they're going to call it defensive pass interference.
I think that ref needs to be checked for that concussion.
I think it was number 33, but he said
Right, he
3.
said number 3, and
It's okay.
Case wasn't even on the field.
It's okay.
He took a tumble earlier. We got to remind everybody of that. And really, I mean, Springboro scored that touchdown so quickly is because Centerville went for it on that 4th down.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good gutsy call, and I think it's going to take plays like that for Centerville to try and get back in this game.
What a play. Timmy Kessaday hugging Bryce McMahon, not letting him go anywhere.
And you look across the Elks fans or sidelines, and it's just like their head scratching. I mean, they're down 27-6, and you're still trying to run it for 2 and 3 yards. And
So I understand you got to establish the run game, especially on a defense that prides itself on stopping the run. If you get that part, you spread the field out.
and Springboro's had every answer to stop it.
For sure.
So at some point you got to have abandoned it.
Yeah, I think Springboro's D overall is just coming out on top tonight.
Harrison's going to launch it, go for it all, and it is another pass or another flag is going to come out.
It's going to be offense, Jared. I saw Brock Bernard playing conservatively, didn't even really get in the way, just running with the receiver. I don't think that's going to be on Bernard. I
And
think
it looks like it is going to be offensive.
Yeah, I think it was a Smith push off there. So Cam Smith picks up the penalty here.
And this is a huge one against the offense.
Good throw by Chase Harrison.
And you see, right there, Smith pushes.
But there was some back and forth there early on the throw. Brock Bernard had his hand on his chest. Definitely some hand battles there, but Smith ultimately checks him a little harder, so it looks like he did the most wrong.
So it's going to be second and about 25. So second and a quarter of the field here.
And that's going to hurt Centerville. Those referees' choice calls right there. I think
you have one work for you, and then you have one come back against you.
Call those ones either way, but here we go. Harrison set up in a 4-receiver set. McMahon behind him. Well, Connor Wall's actually in a tight end.
Harrison's going to pull it and check it down to number 1, Connor Walls. And he maybe gets 2 on the play. A questionable call there. Now it's going to be 3rd and 22.
And something I thought that was going to work against Springboro is the fact that Centerville is the number 2 passing offense. They have the number 2 quarterback in almost every category, and yet
the offensive line can't protect him to get that to go.
Also, they're just containing them so well. I thought their secondary was going to work against them, especially coming off a week where they get torched for over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns by Carl Blanton Jr., but they are proving successful this week, no doubt about that.
And Harrison's going to roll to his right. He stops, hit as he throws, and it's going to fall incomplete in 4th and 22. And you're going to almost for sure see the punting unit come out.
Oh, there is no almost, Jared.
Well, you never know.
Especially after last drive. There's almost a guarantee. And, yep, there they go. Cam Smith will be out to punt once again for this Centerville offense that cannot quite seem to get their wheels turning. We got 2 different red zone stops and 2 different drives, but other than that, nothing much from this Centerville offense that has been so successful all year against almost every single challenge they've faced.
Walls sends a booming punt about to the 47, hauled in by Collins.
Takes the fair catch there and will bring out Springboro Panthers offense once again. And you got to wonder when you're going to see the backup Mikey Apple. We talked a lot about him this year, but Apple has came in some crucial situations. Nonetheless, blowouts. So we'll see how long we actually see Palmer here. 1st and 10 now for the Springboro Panthers, starting a new drive. 3 receivers out. Titan Case in his tight end position. You saw that drive on 4 straight plays at the end of last possession.
Palmer throws it, and it is hauled in by, that is number 10, I think. Connor Hayes.
Nice reception on the curl by Heisey. He keeps the chains moving a little bit. Keeps the ball moving a little bit. It's going to be a 2nd and 1. Same formation, flipped on the other side now. Going to see Heisey at the top, Case at tight end, and Thomas and Yates at the bottom of your screen. Hand off to Armbruster.
And he will be tackled, and it will be enough for a first down.
Connor Walls, Chris Artis, and Jonathan Bruder combining for a huge containment of Moyes Armbruster. This 2-back system tonight has worked to perfection, Jared. Impressed to see the two share the backfield so well.
Palmer back to pass. He's going to throw it out quickly to...
It's Connor Heisey. Almost gets the first down.
Sims with the tackle there for the Elks. Gain of about 8 on the play.
Sims kind of playing off of Heiser there. So we see the same formation once again. The Centerville Elks has to have an idea of what's coming.
Armbruster gets the carry. Armbruster pushed to the outside, has the first down, gets down to about the 25, but let's see what that penalty flag is.
Yeah, we saw yellow on that play. So it's going to be a holding against against Springboro, excuse me. That'll bring back the big run on 2nd down.
That was holding on Evan Brown.
Actually, Max Ralph.
They called it on 79, but there was no holding. He was out in the middle open field.
Yeah, I definitely thought that was 59 there.
They've called the wrong number quite a few times. And Springboro's just going to let this one go down, and that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. So we're going into the 4th and final quarter of our 2019 season. Springboro has a 2nd and 12 looking at him, and Centerville's playoff chances are slowly dwindling away here.
Yeah, and at the beginning of that 3rd quarter, Jared, was very eventful.
Oh my, yes, the onside kick, and then the interception, and then
the punt. It really made you think that Centerville was going to do something with this quarter, and it just slipped away over the course of 3 drives. You got a turnover, you were stalled, and you had to go for a fake punt. And then again, at the last try of this 3rd quarter, they get stifled once again by the Springboro D, who has done such a great job of containing Chase Harrison and Bryce McMahon. They are just cutting it off from the backfield. They're forcing Chase Harrison to make uncomfortable throws. They're tightening down. They're containing these receivers. And most of all, they're rushing Chase Harrison. They're moving the pocket, making this young man go through adversity. And I think overall, honestly, Jared, I think games like these are going to benefit Centerville in the long run, because this is experience for this young quarterback. He's going to go out over the offseason and look at this tape and say, this is what I need to do for next time. Most of these guys from the Springboro D are going to be gone, while Chase Harrison's going to come back with more college attention than ever. So overall, I think Centerville gets the last laugh here in these next couple years, because this kid Harrison is the real deal.
Palmer's going to take it and roll to his right. Palmer's going to throw it down the middle of the field, and it is incomplete. No flags on the play, so 3rd and long here.
Yeah, no flags on the play is right. There was nothing but great coverage there. Noah Holmes down the field really making a difference, hanging with Thomas the entire way. He didn't even allow a lane for that ball to get through. Sealed upon the receiver. Great job there.
no word of why the refs are moving the ball. I did not see any signal, but they moved it 15 yards, so unless they hit Palmer after he threw it.
So 3 receivers tied in, Titan Case to the right. And Springboro is just running plays with fluidity now.
Armbruster making plays.
That's another
Armbruster 10,
touchdown.
and he's going to be tackled at about the 1.
Just almost slides into the end zone. Good pursuit there by number 2 for the Centerville Elks, Maurice Lawrence. And he is just making cuts. Honestly, if McGuire would have been a little quicker, number 73 for Springboro, Nick Buzzle, would have been a little quicker to the block, he might have gotten in there. I think he thought Moise Armbruster had it. And a notable change behind Landon Palmer, Timmy Kessaday, the big goal line back.
The power back here, going to probably get this one.
11 TDs already this season on the rushing end. Motion to the right, Timmy Kessaday.
Number 12 right there for number 5 from a 1 yard out.
And this kid is something else. This guy is going to be the X factor when they get into the playoffs in the next couple of weeks. Number 5, Timmy Kessaday. And we talked about him before the game. He's your player to watch, the Swiss Army knife himself. Timmy Kessaday coming through once again. And this extra point will mark 34, and it does.
DePore is good on that one.
11:15 left in the game. Springboro 34.
And now 34-6, and you'll see here the replay of Kessaday's touchdown. Went in, and he had to go through the heart of the defense.
And that's just his style of running. We've said it multiple times tonight. Looking at these 2 kids run, Armbruster and Kessaday, sometimes running is an attitude, and they have it. No doubt about that. There you see the opposing locker rooms where it looks like Springboro right now will be celebrating after this game.
There's probably definitely some people over there scoreboard watching to see what's happening, to see if Springboro can get a home playoff game for next week.
Yeah, there's a 28-point deficit between this W and the Centerville Elks right now. It'll be one of the most miraculous comebacks in recent history if they can pull it off right now, Jared. We haven't seen a lot of comebacks to that multitude, but any given Friday night under these lights, anything could happen.
I was wondering, that's probably the longest it's taken you to get that saying in there. 11:15 on the scoreboard in the 4th quarter, and you finally say any given Friday night.
This one has proven to be entertaining, if not competitive, that's to say the least.
There must have been another off-the-ball foul that Springboro is kicking off from the 25. You know, if DePore can get this to the end zone, I will be surprised.
So will the College Scouts. If he gets this one to the end zone, I have no doubt he'll have a couple guys looking at his huddle after this one. He'll do the exact opposite, Squibbit.
Squibbit fielded at about the 25.
That's hard runner Jonathan Bruder there.
Bruder gets out to about the 45, so a decent return and excellent starting field position.
Great footwork by the star linebacker for the Centerville Elks, but this will bring up a crucial drive, Jared. If they don't score this
has got to be a touchdown scoring drive.
Yeah, if they don't score a touchdown, then I don't really see any way of them coming back. They have to score on every drive and speed it up on defense, make huge plays here.
And if you look across the field, and Springboro student section has diminished considerably. Going to throw it out to McMahon. McMahon will get the check down, and he'll only gain about 3 on the play.
And usually a McMahon stiff arm does a lot to defenders, but you see Tim Kessaday fighting right through it for the open field tackle. Man making yet another impressive play. here we go. The band sounds the tune to this game. Harrison will take another snap. Things have not been going Centerville offense's way.
Harrison back to pass, going to throw it in the middle of the field, and it is hauled in by, I did not see the number. Linkart? No, Kiefer. So he will have it looked like enough for a first down. It's going to be 3rd and inches here.
And we could be seeing foreshadowing of a future connection here. Ryan Kiefer is only a sophomore, Jared. He is 6'3", has a great frame. We haven't seen him involved in a lot of plays, but could be one of those guys like Titan Case last year that will come up and emerge as a weapon.
Harrison back to pass, and flag comes in.
And a false start. Centerville saw the blitz come and tried to react too quickly. And if you looked at their offensive line, Jared, they really didn't block it. Nathan Swartz was surging up the middle, ready to take Harrison's head off.
This year's end-of-season football banquet will be held at the Presidential Banquet Center and is sponsored by Kohler.
So definitely,
Personally assuring every event.
you see the drum line having a little fun there. Trying to get this crowd pumped up on a crucial senior night.
3rd and 6 here.
Perhaps the biggest play of the night. McMahon motions out.
Harrison going to drop back, throws a ball in the middle of the field, hauled in by Smith. And he'll be inside the 40 down to about the 36.
Great throw there to get it in between Swartz and Bernard.
And now Centerville has got to quickly get up on the ball. Under 9.5 minutes left.
Yeah, they're going to have to start practicing the onside kicks on the sideline again, too. Two stacks of receivers.
Harrison back to pass. Harrison's going to pump, throw it in the middle of the field, and it is incomplete.
And that was a truly risky throw.
I think that was intended to Meade. Or no, Kiefer.
2nd and 10 from the Springboro 38.
So 9:09 left in the 4th. And Centerville has got to, they've got to find 4 scores, too.
And if anybody looks to the side of the stadium, you'll see cars leaving.
Yeah, trying to beat the traffic, and Harrison's going to come through. He's going to get tackled from behind, but lobs it down, incomplete, intended to Linkart.
Surprised I didn't see a flag there. It looked like Linkart was either in bad position or was pulled by the defensive back.
I was surprised that Harrison didn't get accordioned there on the 40.
It's been a rough night for Chase Harrison. He has been harassed in the backfield. This offensive line failing to hold their ground consistently. And Springboro doing a really good job of mixing in hidden blitzes. And you see they do it again here. Delayed linebacker blitz. Harrison gets eaten up in the
And
Springboro
Harrison
backfield.
back, and now it's going to be a combo sack. Number 74, Wade Humphrey, and I think that was number 54,
Jake
Kowalski.
He has been the money man for this defensive line this year. 8.5 sacks. He is first in GWAC, and here you see the MVCC Game of the Week replay. The offensive line collapses after the delayed blitz. Cameron Snur almost has him. Wade Humphrey has his legs, and Kowalski hops in. So a flag on the play I was not aware of. It didn't look like the ref got finished with his call. But I think that might have been offsides on the defense. Yeah, they tried to jump the snap count on the delayed middle linebacker blitz. Snur and Swartz did. And I think Swartz might have hopped on the other side a little too quickly. And you'll see the double coverage of Linkart out to the left again.
And that one is incomplete. Sailed way out of bounds.
And the Centerville Elks are struggling, would be a light statement, Jared. They are getting pummeled from the point of attack and had some really promising drives in the first half. and had a great onside kick and some light on a drive after that in the middle of the field on a fake punt, but just cannot put it together tonight. This has probably been one of the worst showings of Centerville offense we've seen since last year.
First and 10.
And it's been a rough season for Centerville, to say the least.
Right.
They won
Ups and
4 in a
downs.
row.
4 in a row winning streak, and now on the midst of a...
four in a row losing streak, honestly. And Fairmont changed the script for these guys. Moyes Armbruster explodes up the middle, and Chris Artis corrals him off of the defensive line. Great tackle there by the Centerville Elks. Might be a little too late for that impressive defensive play, as this game is anything but running away from them. You see Landon Palmer come out. Honestly, Jared, I'm very surprised that Mikey Apple is not in this game. Surprised he didn't come in when they had 28. But he's still not out there. Palmer drops back.
Pass is complete, stays on his feet, and tackled hard there at the end is Trent with that catch.
That was a really crisp route ran by Trent. He is going to be an option to look forward to in the future, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a lost phone, which is now located at the concession stand at the home stands. If you are missing a phone, please head to the home concession stand.
And Landon Palmer beams it out to the side, and that will be
incomplete.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely complete.
He's brought down by number 9, Jonathan Bruder.
Ran it about 6 more yards.
Well, the ref on the close side to us was over here signaling incomplete. I was like,
yeah, that's.
I was looking at him, and obviously he's not the one watching the game.
Something else. Honestly, it doesn't matter that much as Springboro seizes down the field rather quickly in what has turned into a throwaway drive, just trying to run this clock out. And a sad night for Centerville on senior night as Armbruster burst up the middle once again.
And now this one's almost just taking time off the clock is what you're doing.
Yeah. And for Centerville, there were a good amount of seniors, but the core impactful players are still going to be there.
Offensive core is coming back next year.
And not only that, but players like Jonathan Bruder, he is not a senior.
Oh, I thought he was.
Exactly. Like
I feel like I've been calling his name for 4 years.
That's what I'm saying. Cam Smith, he's going to be a sophomore.
And look at this run by Case. Case out of the Wildcat.
That's going to be a weapon, Jared. Come playoff time.
Oh, definitely. It's going to be interesting to see what playoff game we want to go to next week to watch. I mean, you're going to have the Panthers. We got Valley View that we covered that's still in the midst of going in. I think that's it for us. But, hey, I mean, while we got it, how about a huge shout-out to the Xenia Buccaneers for clinching their first ever playoff appearance.
Yeah, we've done a couple Xenia games in the past years.
And now they're fighting your first ever playoff appearance, and they're fighting tonight for teams to hold on. They could get their first home playoff appearance too.
Yeah, I know some of the teams with the GWalk split were definitely disappointed, but I would be happy if I was in that other league. You do not have to deal with teams like Springboro and Centerville constantly, and that allows for Xenia Buccaneers to finally get into the playoffs and show what they can show. It gives an opportunity for teams like Troy and Greenville to finally surface up. 5 receivers now for Palmer in the
Palmer's
red zone.
He's just gonna fall.
And that offensive line did nothing short of fold. Yeah, Palmer. He saw 3 different guys come.
Nope. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit down here.
Down. Yeah, I would give Mikey Apple in there after that play, the backup quarterback. That did not look promising. And honestly, the way the Wildcat has gone, I think Titan Case could be a starting quarterback as well.
The only reason I think that you haven't seen Apple come in is because the way that the points work and the divisor by total points and all that, you got to keep your points up when it comes to computer rankings. So that would probably be the only reason. As Palmer's going to go back to pass, going to throw it.
That's good.
At the
it was called
feet.
Dead. False start.
It's going to be 3rd and about 21 now.
And they might as well just score with this one, Jared, as they can get the first down, but it's 1 yard apart from a touchdown.
No, just take a knee. Let's let DePore come in and kick. I want to see the DePore come in. Kick it on 3rd down.
Well, depending on how successful they are, Jared, you might get your wish to see DePore kick his first field goal of the MVCC
Right,
season.
we haven't seen him kick a field goal. Palmer's going to be back to pass and another blown dead play. They're going to back him up 5 more yards for another false start.
Sounds like the offensive line hears you, Jared. Trying to be Santa Claus.
It's too early to mention that. It's only November 1st.
Not for crazy middle-aged people, Jared.
Now it's going to be 3rd and about 25. Now you see some confusion as Kestade's going to come off the field.
Yeah, they get Trent out there, Titan Case, Connor Heiser, all 5 of their receivers in position. They're going to go for the deep ball here with Landon Palmer alone in the backfield. 5-man rush for Centerville. They get back there. Connor Walls on the heels of Palmer. Looks like he's going to run. He'll be stopped short. And that'll be a 4th down as the clock will keep on ticking. It's at about 5 minutes now, folks. And if they make this field goal, this will enable the OHSAA running clock roll. And we'll get this one over with a little sooner. And here we go, Jared. How disappointed are you going to be if Matthew DePore misses his field goal?
Just want to point out to all the Springboro fans watching that you were the one who called the missed field goal if he misses.
Here we go with that again. 39 yards where Matthew DePore is 8 of 13 on the season.
Kick is up long enough. Is it straight enough?
That's
it is.
Good. And a fantastic field goal, and that was a boomer. That looked like it had about 10 more yards on it.
I told you he made one from about 47 against Mason in the first week.
Well, Jared's most exciting thing that happened all game, it happened. Are you content?
I wanted to see Centerville stop him on 3rd and 25 to make it a more challenging field goal for DePore. Because that one looks like, that's just a little chip iron shot.
Yeah, it looks like to him.
It's past the band. It's still bouncing back there.
Yeah, this kid is no doubt going to be a kicker to be reckoned with. Moves him to 9 of 14, which is no doubt the most successful rate in GWalk right now. It would even be the most successful rate in old GWalk as you go through the Miami Valley League teams and their kicking stats. A good kicker who is also a good punter is not something you see often in this conference, so when we do, we like to marvel at it. That moves the score 37 to 6. And that enables the running clock roll once they make this return.
And it's blown dead.
What a surprise into the end zone. So here we go. They blow the play dead. I'm not sure why.
Offsides or false start on the kick.
You don't see that often.
No, but it's when the line starts to move right before the kicker gets the ball.
So here we go. Centerville is about to receive the ball, getting this clock moving. Honestly, at this point, just playing for glory on senior night, Jared.
And you're probably going to see, well, now it looks like, I think Centerville declined the penalty. Now Springboro and DePore set to kick off again. And this one is boomed into the end zone.
Kick from DePore goes into the end zone for a touchback.
So 4:17 left in our MVCC Game of the Week finale. Definitely came into this game with a lot more animosity and anticipation than what we've been brought out with.
I thought it was going to be an absolute shootout. But this Springboro secondary has held up way better than I thought it would, and way better than it did last week. They were facing a lesser talented crew. So I think they really made the adjustments from last week. I think Springboro proved that they're ready for the playoffs at this game, Jared.
Harrison's going to go back to pass. He's going to throw it to the outside. It is hauled in and pushed out of bounds as Linkhart.
He hasn't gotten a lot of attention tonight as he's been double covered by Xavier Trent and Josh Collins most of the time.
As the clock continues to run. Hey, we went through 4 weeks without having the OHSAA blowout rule.
Yeah, that was a miracle. It seemed like as if one time we could not get away from the blowouts. But there we go. Here we go, an incomplete pass by Harrison brings up another play. And this one's going to run out as Centerville does not have much spirit left. Springboro has outlasted them to the finish line. Trying to resurge some optimism in this home crowd on senior night. The last game a lot of these guys will play in their home stadium.
Harrison throwing it deep and it is caught by, I did not see who that was.
I feel like that was number 16. No, number 10. Josh Mullinger. He is one of the seniors you'll see going tonight. It'll be Mullinger's last catch possibly as a Centerville Elk.
That's enough for another Centerville Elks. First down. 1st and 10 from the Centerville 42.
So trips at the top of your screen now. Harris is going to drop back. Clock ticking just above 2:20. Dodges the blitz, moves up in the pocket, creates another one.
Steps back, he's going to throw it down the middle of the field, and it is incomplete. Could have been caught or intercepted there.
Great jump ball. Jackson, the junior, versus Collins, the senior. And that has been a battle to behold tonight. Collins has been going at it along with Trent. They've been double covered most of the time. So in the gun, Harrison with 4 receivers, a stack to the bottom of your screen.
Harrison going to launch this one down the field again.
He's using that arm.
There it is, a pass. That's going to be offensive pass interference.
And honestly,
do you want to call it pass interference or face mask? Either one.
If he kept on his route, I don't think it would have been that off. But the senior Mullinger trying to get one more catch. I definitely think it's going to be offensive there. It could be a barrage of both.
It's going to be pass interference against. Did they call the defense?
Yeah. So the hand battle, Springboro loses.
I thought that was going to be offensive all the way. It looked like Mullinger pushed off.
It's another one of those calls that can go either way.
That ref needs to go into concussion protocol. That tumble he took. Harrison going to go back to pass. Harrison's going to launch it deep in the middle, intended to Smith, and it is incomplete. 28 seconds left in counting.
Another battle, but you'll see seconds tick off the clock as we close out the football season for MVCC. Springboro 37, Centerville 6.
And the refs are going to stop play for an injured Panther. 17.1 seconds left, but I mean, as soon as he gets off the field, I mean, we can go ahead. I mean, it's been an eventful season for us.
Oh, for sure.
So many exhilarating games over the last couple of weeks, but a lot of huge plays and playmakers we've seen the whole season.
I was about to say, even beyond the blowouts, Jared, all those points scored, all those plays made, that was very exciting to watch.
Definitely a highlight reel. We'll just see if we can have time to put one together before we get into basketball season.
It's been a great one.
As you see, that is number 33, Brock Bernard.
And that's a huge player going into these playoffs. And it makes you wonder if they should have sat out their starters at the beginning of these drives once about 5 minutes hit. Once they scored that field goal, I thought they should have taken out everybody. But Jared, you and I both see Centerville side clearing out. We see headlights in the parking lot.
We're just, as soon as Bernard gets off the field and that clock starts, this will be it.
Yeah, this is the end of the game, no doubt about that. Bernard looks a little shaken up, though. Definitely hazy.
And they're just going to walk out onto the field. Centerville's going to congratulate him. So for the final time for the 2019 season, thank you to all the volunteers from Kettering, Fairmont, and West Carrollton High School, the producers from Miami Valley Communications Council and City Barbecue. This has been an exciting season, and it ends here 37-6 Springboro over Centerville. Signing off until basketball season, it's Jared Bergstrom and Jeff Allen.
From this cold night at Centerville Stadium, that's literally all, folks.
Quick slant out, and another incomplete pass intended there to Jake Kenner.
Yeah, if you're the Eagles, you have to get up on this defensive play and force the quarterback to make an error.
Excellent. You got the ball in. Nicely done. 3-3. Go to 3.
By Bell. Bell breaks two tackles.
It's all you 3.
Bell's
Nicely
out.
done.
Bell
He should have
trips
stayed
up.
there.
Flag.
Keep following them back 3.